I think there's sound now. I want to thank Mike that was saying in the chat that there was no sound because I was talking, but I think my microphone was turned off. But can you guys hear me clearly now? Can you guys hear me clearly now? I think it should be. I think it should be okay now. Let me quickly watch the stream back myself. Yeah, okay, it's back. Amazing. Then we can start discussing, guys. I was basically talking without my mic being turned on. I have this so many times, to be honest. I should really do something about this. It's not going well in that aspect. But what I was talking about is that we have the non-farm payrolls and the unemployment rate coming in today. It's going to drop in about, what is it? I guess about 9 minutes from now on. Yeah, thanks, Mike, indeed. Most definitely, I can hear it now. Amazing. In about 10 minutes, we have this critical data coming in, and we have been posting about this on all the pages for the last few days because it is critical data, guys. I just want to quickly explain why today's data is indeed a little bit more important. IRM is indeed pumping. I see a comment. I will coming back to that later. Indeed, today's data is going to be a little bit more important because I'm seeing some interesting signals in the markets, which might hint on that basically. First of all, with the unemployment rate, what we're truly looking into, let's go through what we had last time with the unemployment rate and 4.6 coming in. Now we are once again expecting a 4.6. Non-farm payrolls, we had 64k coming in last time. We are expecting 45k. So simply said, for the non-farm payrolls report, it is expected that it comes in cooler than expected, or cooler than the last time, which means that the US labor market is weakening. For the unemployment rate, it is expected to stay the same here. And if that's going to come out like that, probably the market won't be moving that much. I think the unemployment rate is the most important data point here. If that comes in much higher than expected, with, on the other hand, knowing that this month we have seen US inflation coming down, I think there's going to be a good chance that the Fed will be cutting rates, maybe not this month and maybe not next meeting, but most definitely in the near future after those meetings. And then we could be seeing rate cuts a little bit earlier, I personally think. Let me send a quick message here. Then I think we could be seeing rate cuts a little bit earlier, and once those are going to get priced into the market, I think we could potentially see quite an amazing move for Bitcoin here in the near future. So yeah, on the short term it could also be causing some volatility. To be clear, if the unemployment rate comes in much higher than expected, I think we could see a move up here. If the unemployment rate comes in much lower than expected, I think we could see a move down. That would make the most sense. On the other hand, sometimes Bitcoin just does whatever it likes at the moment, and it does not always move accordingly with the expectations of the unemployment rate and other US economic data. And I think I know, because we have been live streaming so much economic data on the channel over the last few months. Actually, it is about 3-4 months ago I started live streaming, so we have not been doing it for that long. What maybe is interesting here is some potential Bitcoin trade I'm looking into, because I found a pattern on the Bitcoin chart which basically showcases us that every single time Bitcoin pumps into the weekend and then makes a Monday or Tuesday high. And this is a pattern we have been analyzing on the channel since basically last let me see if I remember. It was basically since last weekend. We draw that out here. Since the October 12th, Bitcoin pumps through the weekend and then sees a major drop back down, usually of the time, marking a Monday or a Tuesday high. And that's going to be a very important and interesting trading position for us potentially, which I'm going to share in the VIP group. So make sure, if you do want access to all of my trading positions, to come over to the VIP group. You can also join it with the link in the description under this live stream. I will quickly check. Okay, I quickly have to do an adjustment there, because for the people that would potentially want to join, we have a new sign-up system where we have basically a team behind the link. You can be joining our Telegram chat, And there we can be giving you all of the details about how you can be joining the VIP group and what we could be doing together. Let me see if I can make that adjustment quickly here. I think I can. Boom. 66 live viewers is actually a lot. There's a lot of interest today, so that's absolutely amazing. But yeah, I'm going to share that Bitcoin trade in the VIP group. So if you do want to be ready for that, make sure to also sign up on WEEX now. On WEEX, we have quite the amazing offer with a 100 or basically 50% deposit bonus. But also what we do have on WEEX now is this lucky draw. And if you're going to use my link, you can get a $500 bonus, and this is going to get given to about 100 winners. And since I don't have that big of a channel, I'm not that big yet. Let's hope on some insane growth this year, but there's actually quite a high chance you could win this offer here. So make sure to check this out with that link in the description on today's live stream. I'm quite sure that one is working here to WEEX. Let me quickly check that out here. This current live stream. Then to WEEX. Indeed, you can be claiming that offer here, free $500 on WEEX. Okay. Having said that, I'm going to do the quick update in the bio. Day.me. And we also have the data coming in 4 minutes. So make sure to stay here now. Boom. Offer cartel setup. Amazing. I think if I'm going to refresh this page now, all of you guys should be able to join the VIP Telegram group. And like I say, there's a team behind this. So if you're going to click on the link, you get redirected to our team setup. And if you do have any questions before joining the community, make sure to check it out. But having said enough about that, I want to zoom back into the economic data because the opinions are quite mixed of what reaction for Bitcoin we could potentially see. First of all, we do have not only this unemployment data coming in and this non-farm payrolls data coming in, we also have more data coming in. And probably we are not going to see this in the near future. I don't know exactly when this will be happening. But today we also have the USA Supreme Court ruling. So yeah, actually we are looking into quite a volatile day, because today it is going to be expected that, or it's going to happen, the Trump tariffs that were imposed on Liberation Day are going to be declared illegal or legal. And the chances are actually higher that they are going to be declared illegal here. So that's going to be a big one, but we don't know exactly when this is going to happen. I think later tonight, I think USA time most probably here. But on the unemployment rate, some people say if unemployment comes in higher, it strengthens the case of a recession. I don't necessarily think that is the case. I think if it comes in high, we could see a positive reaction for the market. But I also want to quickly, Bitcoin's coming up a little bit here. I want to check the chat here. IRM is pumping, Lords, all good, mate. Thank you so much again. You're welcome. How does it affect gold? What do you mean? The unemployment rate itself? I think for gold, it does not matter that much, to be honest. I think for gold, you would love to, yeah, it does not matter that much. Basically, gold is doing whatever it wants to do lately. We've seen like the biggest move, crazy move for gold. But I would say for gold, you don't necessarily, yeah, you can see it both ways. For gold, you can be willing to see the rates getting cut further. That could be a positive thing for gold, because more money could be flowing into assets. On the other hand, at some moment when rates get too low, people are not going to be that interested in gold anymore, and they're probably going to get interested in Bitcoin, riskier assets, because you move then up in the yield curve. You move to other assets where there's more yield, more potential. What's a bullish ruling? The markets don't like tariffs, but with them being rude, illegal makes us pump or dump. Markets don't like... yeah, I think the question is just what happens after the tariffs. look, the markets definitely don't like the tariffs itself. What I think the big problem is if they are going to get declared illegal, and I don't see a lot of people talking about this actually. Oh, the data's coming out now. The data's coming out. The data's coming out now. Non-farm payrolls rise to 50k. Unemployment rate comes in lower than expected. Yeah, that is going to cause a dump here, I think. The pump is getting reversed. First eye. Yeah, unemployment data comes in lower than expected here. Lower than expected. So let's go over to economic calendar. I also have to do a few posts on X here. Boom, boom, boom. Then I will be back. But this could be causing a dump. So yeah, and we are dumping indeed. Unemployment rate comes in lower than expected. So it means the labor market is actually stronger than expected. And that is not an amazing thing to see for crypto at the moment. Because I think, and that's what we're going to see in a few minutes, that the rate cut odds are now going to drop even lower. That is what I personally think will happen now. But yeah, I'm posting both here on the X channel. Let's see how Bitcoin is performing here. Quite some volatile price action, but yeah, this is not really what we were hoping for, to be honest. I will come back to the tariffs question in a minute, okay? We can discuss that in great detail here, and it's also good to be aware of that because it is going to be very, very important. Okay. Now the payrolls part. No, we're not dumping that hard, indeed. It is. But yeah, we also, the unemployment rate also is not coming in that much lower than expected. It's only 0.1 of a difference. So it's not that big of a problem, maybe. Okay. No, we are not dumping that hard yet. I just did a few posts on X. I'm always doing this on my phone while I'm live streaming too. But yeah, unemployment rate comes in at 4.4, expectations 4.5, so a little bit lower than expected. If you're going to come to Rover's page, we can see the non-farm payrolls too. Expected 66, actual 50. So the used labor market report comes in cooler than expected, as far as I can see here. And if we go back to, this is another number than I was seeing here actually, so I will have to verify this. Give me a moment. Oh, it's true. The US economy added 50k jobs in December below the expectation of 60k. I'll just quickly send this to the team. I will quickly send this over to the team so we can act on this. Yes, let's talk about the tariff decision after this. Look, where should we start? Where should we start with this? Maybe Bitcoin is not making its big decision yet here because we still have the tariff decision ahead of us. But the facts are that the data is mixed here because the non-farm payrolls comes in lower than expected, so the labor market is weakening at that aspect, but the unemployment rate is not coming in that much higher. And that, I think the unemployment rate is a little bit of a more important data point for the Fed to be making their decisions on. If we then come to the Fed watch, we should be looking into the odds. Yep, the odds are dropping that we are going to get a rate cut at the end of this month. So this is not necessarily a good thing for Bitcoin. Now we have the tariff decision ahead of us, and that is going to be quite decisive, I think. If that's also going to come out negative for Bitcoin, we might see quite a negative movement here in the next few hours. But what I personally think of the tariffs, look, you can be looking into this a few different ways. First of all, the tariffs itself were definitely not very good for Bitcoin, because if we zoom out on the chart, we do know what happened on Liberation Day. If we go back to the tariff low, we saw them getting, let me go to the daily perspective. We saw them getting imposed on the 2nd of April. After that, we saw quite a large move down, of course. Not here. Here, we saw this capitulation move down. So the tariffs are not a good thing for the market. After that, we still saw a good continuation up. The problem I have with the tariffs being declared illegal, I would say in hindsight, it looks bullish. But actually, if you think about it, what's going to happen if the tariffs are going to get declared illegal? Do we think Trump is just going to pause? That he's not going to impose any tariffs anymore? I don't think that will be the case. I think if they're going to get declared illegal, probably Trump can do something to lengthen the court case, stuff like that. I don't exactly know. But I think Trump is going to do everything he can in his power to make sure those tariffs are going to get imposed again any other way. So he's going to try a lot of different laws, probably a lot of different old laws, which he also imposed the first tariffs on Liberation Day, to make sure he can impose his tariffs once again. And I think that is going to cause a lot of uncertainty in the market. Maybe I'm a bit of a doom thinker, but that's why I don't necessarily think that this is going to be a good thing for the markets. I might be wrong. I would love to see the tariffs being declared legal, because it gives the market much and much more certainty. And that's also what the market priced in. So I would find that more as a stable ground for Bitcoin to start making its next move on. On the other hand, for me, it also does not matter that much, because if we look into the Bitcoin chart, I'm interested in two levels. And this is something we discussed a lot of times on the channel. Look, maybe short term, I'm watching this potential trading setup, but on the longer term, for a bigger swing trade, where I do want to deploy more capital into the market, I'm looking into this support level here for Bitcoin. Above this consolidation zone, of course, we have a major support level here for Bitcoin. I think there will be a lot of demand here. So if we break out of this range, here we can open a good long position. If we break above this range, I would say in this zone, we can definitely open quite a nice short position. So yeah, if we are going to make a negative decision, for example, because of the tariffs, we are going to find some big support there. Other way around, probably here, we have a new trading setup. So for me, it does not matter that much. That's what I personally think. If you do want to be ready, by the way, for opening this trade, make sure to check out that link to WEEX, because now you can participate in that lucky draw, win a $500 bonus only for the first 100 people. Like stated, I'm not that big of a channel, so probably it will be quite easy actually to win something here. Just saying, I'm not getting that much signups because we have a small community, which is also an amazing thing, by the way. But yeah, you can be claiming this with the link on the live stream here. Then you can be coming over to WEEX and claim your $500. Make sure to check that out. And of course, come and join the VIP Telegram group, because here I will be sharing that first setup. And that next setup I'm eyeing for this weekend with that Monday and Tuesday high. So make sure to be ready. I'm going to share the setup there. And if Bitcoin is going to pump through the weekend, of course. If they are declared illegal, could that mess up the 2K stimulus? Of course it could. But the thing is, it is going to cause a lot of uncertainty. Exactly the stuff you are saying here, stuff like that is not going to be as certain anymore as it maybe was before. And I think that is not quite certain, the 2K stimulus. I probably don't see it happening in the short term. But a lot of stuff will be so different, and a lot of stuff will get very uncertain, I think. Because Trump is going to try to impose new tariffs, I think. Just logically thinking. But yeah. Yes, that means no one is getting the 2K stimulus. US is going to refund the cash. Yeah, probably they need to refund the cash if they're going to get declared illegal, most definitely. But I think between refunding, possibly, and the Supreme Court possibly declaring it illegal. And between refunding, there was so much stuff will be happening in between those moments. It's not going to be like, oh, declared illegal, all the USA is going to refund. No, it will take so much time. It will take so much time. Have you seen the CME gap at 88k? Yes, of course. We have been looking at the CME gap actually for quite a long time on the channel. Look, I think at the beginning of this week, I made a video. If we go back to this one, it was not viewed a lot actually, because it was kind of a bearish outlook. Bitcoin was getting overextended, and I was out there, of course, to highlight that fact that we were getting overextended a little bit. And then we had that first CME gap under us, which was about the 91k level. We perfectly filled it up. The 90k level is currently some big support for Bitcoin, also because we have a lot of puts laying at those level. So Bitcoin, I think, will remain to be trapped between the 90 and 94k level for the meantime. But if we lose that 90/90 89.5k level, I definitely see this CME gap getting filled. But I would love to see the confirmation of truly breaking below that 90k level. And that is quite strong support. So that is how I'm looking into the CME gap. Yeah, on the other hand, if you truly break below that 90k, you're super close to the CME gap already. But I would be looking into a lot of weakness at the 90k level, possibly retesting it a few times, and then it might get interesting. And I definitely think that a long at the CME gap could be quite a good idea. Most definitely a long here, because I think this is the CME gap you mean. Could be very interesting. Might open a trade there, but it's all going to depend on the price action at the exact moment, of course. It really depends. Bitfinex longs are coming down again, so the smart money is basically taking some profits on their positions now, which is actually not a bad thing. Usually this is the start of something bigger. If you zoom out and you overlay the chart with Bitcoin, boom. If you overlay it with Bitcoin, going up a little bit, there you can clearly see that actually these moments are not necessarily, yeah, how can I say it, bearish moments or something. Like the move actually only is getting started once the Bitfinex longs are starting to take some profits. So this rollover we're currently seeing is something very good. The market is pumping. Let me go to the 5 minutes. Markets are pumping. Indeed, we're coming up a little bit. We are basically back at the level where we were trading at before the unemployment rate, so that's interesting. Yeah, honestly, it's Friday again. So if we are going to see some good momentum now, I would say that our setup is going to get quite interesting here. Because if we zoom back to last weekend, we also saw quite a nice pump on Friday. Then we saw a continuation up until Monday. But yeah, the only thing which we should be careful with, I think, there's going to happen a lot tonight probably. There's going to happen a lot. I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning and be like, oh, crazy how much stuff happened once again while I was sleeping. But what I'm trying to say here, if we have that Monday or Tuesday high once again, what I will be cautious for, if you look into Bitcoin here, is that we are not eventually of course, the danger here with where we're trading at now. Mid-ranges does not matter, but if Bitcoin is going to make that move, probably it's going to be moving towards the range high. And once Bitcoin breaks out here, or once we do break this range high, I think it could be quite the exponential move actually. So it might be a little bit of a dangerous one. So that could be the only thing maybe pushing me back on opening the trade. But I'm just going to keep you guys updated. But yeah, now it's Friday. We still have 1-2 days left. Probably we are going to open the trade on Sunday or Monday or Tuesday. But I think Monday, if it's going to play out like expected. So make sure to be there with your funds on WEEX and to claim that $500 bonus now, or just deposit some funds. If you do want to be ready for that trading position, like I stated earlier. Not only this lucky draw, you can also claim that 50% deposit bonus and a lot more. But all of it is going to depend on the activities you do and the active you are on WEEX. But yeah, you can just check it out for yourself if you're still looking for an exchange. By the way, guys, I'm in no way a financial advisor. If you don't want to be trading on WEEX, if you do want to trade somewhere else, it's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine for me also. You should always be known for yourself where you do want to be trading at. But I think it's quite a nice offer they're currently arranging for us here. Let me see if I have some more stuff to discuss. So you guys do know what I think of the tariffs now. I would love to see them getting declared legal, to be honest. I don't really want to see them getting declared illegal, but that's maybe my unpopular opinion at the moment. Bitcoin remains to be lagging behind a bit. We have the Bitcoin versus gold chart, which we discussed in this morning's update video. Make sure to also check out that morning's update video. I think it was a great video once again. Bitcoin Bollinger Band seems to be a very interesting one for Bitcoin now. Because once I did saw that Bitcoin was getting overextended on the Bollinger Band, like it also was during this October top, I immediately came out, okay, it's overextended. We might see somewhat of a pushback for Bitcoin. Actually, I'm quite sad I did not go short there. But yeah, I was still looking into the weekend setup there. So now we have our game plan. But yeah, ultimately overextended, it came back down. And then we saw a bounce exactly, and that's interesting, on the midline of the Bollinger Band. That is quite the interesting level, eh? So if we see breakdown here below, for example, we could maybe drop towards that 85k level even, because that's where the Bollinger Band is trading at now. Seems like this is some support for Bitcoin here. Interesting to see. Yearly open, it's super boring to talk about that once again. Everybody knows that we are getting rejected at the yearly open. Range trading. Yeah. Not that much actually anymore. Let me check the latest news here, if we are missing something. Tether minted another billion of USDT. Does not matter that much. Fed expected to hold the rates. Lindsay, Goldman Sachs thinks the Fed's going to hold the rates or some employment. This one's interesting. Yeah, we are just seeing all the data coming out now. Okay. Mark is still coming back. Okay, I think I will be ending the stream for today. It was just a quick live show for the unemployment rate and for the non-farm payrolls, of course. If you have any questions, make sure to drop them now. Then I will answer or discuss. Yeah, make sure to drop it now. Oof. Because we don't have a lot more stuff happening. And yeah, should I go live with opening a trade if we are going to do so here? It might be quite interesting to do so. Thanks, man. No problem, of course, no problem. Amazing, a lot of viewers today actually. I don't know where you guys found me. Where did you guys found me today? Just on the YouTube homepage, or? I'm having a lot more views than usual, to be honest. Actually at the peak, which is an amazing thing to see. But the interest was actually not that high lately in crypto, I feel like. Lots of people are leaving the market too. Thanks, man. Keep up the great streams. Of course I will. We will be back soon. Now it's going to be weekend, so probably not a lot's going to happen. But maybe we can live stream opening the position. If you do want to stay up to date, if you do want to make sure... Oh, you're exposed. Amazing. Perfect. If you do want to stay up to date, if you do want to be sure about exactly that you could be opening a trade or just about all of the updates and also positions from other traders, guys, because if you're going to use that link and claim that bonus, you can also do it through our setup with the team. You can start trading on WEEX and you immediately have access to all of these amazing setups here. For example, lately we had this Bitcoin short position. In somewhat of the bigger move down lately, we shorted Bitcoin all the way from 93.6 towards 91.5. So that's about the 2K move we catch there, which is an amazing thing. And yeah, the community is making some good profits. So make sure to come and check it out. This is only from today and yesterday. Good profits. Make sure to come in the setup. I will be joining the team in the CRM system quickly, so I can also answer some of your guys' questions that might be willing to join. I will be quickly checking it out after ending the stream. I don't see any questions coming in anymore, so I will just keep it chill for now. Great stream, bro. GG's. Thank you so much, and I really hope to see all of you guys again in the next stream. I really hope so. And yeah, possibly with a new trading setup. Let's see how it could be playing out here. Alright guys, I wish all of you an amazing afternoon, evening, morning, depending on which time zone you're in now. But yeah, I wish all of you guys a blessed day. See you guys later. Bye bye.